Welcome to Alpha Insights. I'm Marcus. Glad you could join us heading into the long weekend. I'm here with Avery. Welcome back. And remember, if you have questions as we go, you can ask us at stockalpha.ai.
Thanks, Marcus. Happy to be here.
Quick housekeeping note. U.S. markets are closed today, so when we talk prices or filings, we mean as of Friday, June 5th, and the next session starts Monday, June 8th.
Right, that's important. Okay, let's dive in.
First up, there was a piece this weekend about an automated grow system called the Spider, running in a big facility in New Brunswick, and the operator says yields are up about 20% after continuous plant-level scanning and controls. Avery, why does that matter?
So, the real question here is whether that kind of tech actually scales for the sector. If operators can get about 20% more yield reliably, that directly lowers unit costs and can improve margins. But automation is capital intensive, and adoption will vary. So ancillary tech firms might capture more upside than growers themselves, at least early on.
Interesting.
Exactly. Look for company disclosures about pilot sizes, capital spending plans, and whether the yield gains are repeatable across strains and seasons.
Now on policy. Medical cannabis was reclassified at the federal level from the strictest category to a less restrictive one, and Americans for Safe Access put out a guidance note on patient and caregiver rights. There's also a new Medicare initiative that lets eligible beneficiaries get up to $500 a year toward hemp-derived products, but that program faces an appeal in federal court.
That combination is big on access, but also creates legal uncertainty. Expanded programmatic access could change demand patterns if it stands, yet an appeals court could pause or reverse parts of the program. So you get more potential customers, but also the possibility of episodic volatility if the court intervenes.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And I mean, when you look at the data, rescheduling itself doesn't automatically translate into profits. Banking, state rules, reimbursement, and how companies execute all matter.
State policy is also diverging. Virginia's lawmakers and the governor are working a budget route to allow recreational sales this month, which would expand the retail market in a populous state. Meanwhile, Michigan's newly implemented 24% wholesale tax brought in far less revenue in its first quarter than the original projection of $420 million a year.
That Michigan shortfall is a useful reminder. Legalization does not guarantee steady fiscal windfalls. Tax rates, consumer price sensitivity, and the size of the legal market all matter. States that counted on big cannabis receipts might end up revisiting their assumptions. Also worth noting, cultural normalization continues in unexpected places. The Women's National Basketball Association removed marijuana from its banned substances list in the new players agreement, while tightening rules on other psychedelics and clarifying player investments in cannabis and CBD businesses. That changes endorsement and sponsorship dynamics.
Interesting. Any other international or niche developments we should flag?
Yes. New South Wales and Australia proposed a 3 strikes pre-penalty approach for medical cannabis drivers who test positive for THC. And some US states are debating using opioid settlement dollars for psychedelic research. These are small on the market impact scale, but they show shifting policy approaches globally.
Okay, for listeners who want to track names heading into Monday, what should they be watching?
Look at reports and filings from big sector ETFs and multi-state operators, like the AdvisorShares Pure US Cannabis ETF, TrueLeaf, Green Thumb Industries, CureLeaf, and Tilray Brands. Check their Friday closing prices and any filings or updates that could show pilot results, capital plans, or exposure to the Medicare hemp program. But to be clear, this is informational, not a recommendation.
Good reminder. So what are the near-term catalysts that could move sentiment when markets reopen Monday?
Monitor 4 things. 1. The Virginia budget outcome. That could open a new retail market. 2. The appeals court docket on the Medicare hemp program. Legal timing matters. 3. Company disclosures about automation pilots and capital spending. That will tell you whether the reported yield gains are economical. And 4. State revenue reports, especially Michigan, to see how tax policy is actually performing.
Got it.
And a quick investor checklist. Read the filings, watch court calendars, and focus on operating details, pilot scale, cash costs, and contract announcements for tech providers. Analysts note these are higher probability indicators than weekend headlines alone.
All right, Avery, let's wrap this up. 3 quick takeaways for listeners.
1. Federal shifts in the Medicare program are expanding access, but legal appeals could create volatility. 2. Automation shows promise. Reported yield gains of about 20% could be a margin driver if they scale, but capital costs and repeatability are key. 3. State tax realities, like Michigan's shortfall versus Virginia's possible market expansion, mean policy outcomes will vary and matter for revenues.
Perfect. And a final reminder, this is for informational purposes only, not personalized investment advice. If you have questions about anything we discussed today, you can ask us directly at stockalpha.ai. We answer listener questions live. And for more market insights, head over to stockalpha.ai.